What's going on with that PPP? You done a lot of talking, not a lot to see. Up in the millions like 2.3, but Geoff got it all, getting off scot-free. Try to talk tips like we talking about stock, but you're talking about men printed on called stock. When you open your mouth, I take it with a grain of salt, cause the market's down and you're a clown, it's all your fault. You ruin the hobby I love with your bullshit. Geoff Wilson, Geoff Wilson. You ruin the hobby I love with your bullshit. Geoff Wilson, Geoff Wilson. Did you dip, Geoff? I think you dipped, Geoff. What you talking about? I don't think you dipped yet. Willie's doing shady shit like the GOBs, like his whole failed thing with them NFTs, taking money from the people to pay. Most of them are broke, but that's okay, he's getting money. Even better, tax-free, loving all the stimulus from PPP. You ruin the hobby I love with your bullshit. Geoff Wilson, Geoff Wilson. You ruin the hobby I love with your bullshit. Geoff Wilson, Geoff Wilson. You ruin the hobby I love with your bullshit. Geoff Wilson, Geoff Wilson. You ruin the hobby I love with your bullshit.
B-side on the beat.
What's going on with that PPP? You done a lot of talking, not a lot to see. Up in the millions like 2.3, but Geoff got it all, getting off scot-free. Try to talk tips like we talking about stock, but you're talking about men printed on called stock. When you open your mouth, I take it with a grain of salt, cause the market's down and you're a clown, it's all your fault. You ruin the hobby I love with your bullshit. Geoff Wilson, Geoff Wilson. You ruin the hobby I love with your bullshit. Geoff Wilson, Geoff Wilson. Did you dip, Geoff? I think you dipped, Geoff. What you talking about? I don't think you dipped yet. Willie's doing shady shit like the GOBs, like his whole failed thing with them NFTs, taking money from the people to pay. Most of them are broke, but that's okay, he's getting money. Even better, tax-free, loving all the stimulus from PPP. You ruin the hobby I love with your bullshit. Geoff Wilson, Geoff Wilson. You ruin the hobby I love with your bullshit. Geoff Wilson, Geoff Wilson. You ruin the hobby I love with your bullshit. Geoff Wilson, Geoff Wilson. You ruin the hobby I love with your bullshit.
What is going on, everybody? Hopefully, guys are doing well out there. That is right. It is another Thursday night here on Sports Card Radio. We've got eBay giving the old 86 boot to breakers, and some are breaking down. Some are probably going to go broke. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about spending a cool just under 5 figures on trading cards. I know when Ryan and I got back into the sports card, quote, investing game just a couple of months ago, people were crying and whining that we were only buying $3 slabs. Now your Luka Zions and some of your LeBrons are worth about $3. So we ain't buying those. We're buying some top tier stuff. And, you know, we got to flex a little bit. When you flex the $2 buys, you know, you got to flex the little, what is that, a 6K Kobe. So we'll talk about that and anything else going on in the hobby. The chat is all fired up. Geoff Wilson in the house, not tonight, but maybe Sports Card Radio will cross paths one day with the two-time, not one, but two-time PPP loan recipient, Mr. Geoff Wilson, who was telling you to buy sports trading cards at the top, was telling you ultra modern basketball cards, Luka, Zion, and Ja. We're just going to keep going up and up and up. He once traded a PSA 10 Michael Jordan Pop 1 autograph card for some dog scrap. Among other terrible purchases, he's just started recommending that you guys buy the GOATs. And that's what Sports Card Radio has been doing from day freaking one over here in the streets of Stockton, California. Price graph last 30 days doesn't look good. We are joined not today by super producer Tim. He must be out spending that 5% equity that he has in Sports Card Radio's future sale to a big conglomerate like Fanatics, maybe Golden, maybe who knows, Alt. Who else has money in this hobby? Not a whole lot. Doesn't seem like a whole lot of people have money anymore. Fanatics and Golden are the only two people, it seems like, with a pocketbook these days that are shelling out the cash. One thing before we get started, Ryan, without giving you a proper introduction, I was wondering, Fanatics is obviously taken over PWCC. Is PWCC still operating as it almost like it would have? Or I think they had auctions running Sunday night or something like that. Are those still going off, or are we like in a transition period with PWCC?
They're still going off. Yeah, they're still holding their Sunday auctions. And I think they have like a bigger, like monthly one where more expensive cards and things like that. So that's still going on. My account is still frozen after the hack. I had it restored for maybe a couple weeks, but then they shut me down again. So I'm waiting to hear back from customer service if anybody over there at PWCC or Fanatics, shout out and maybe restore my account for me over there after I got hacked about a month ago. So still waiting on that. But to my knowledge, shipping times are still slow. They're still waiting to sort some things out. No word on if Brent and Betsy Higgins are still an item or not. I can confirm that I have not slid into Betsy Higgins DMs. So anyways, what do you want to talk about? We got a lot going on in the sports card world. We're like 6 weeks away from the National in Chicago. I'm sure many of you guys are going to head out there. So we've got auctions tonight. I've got my eye on a ton of stuff. I'm probably going to slab a bid on a bunch of this stuff. With this Shaq outfit, I figured I'm going to throw a bid on this. And if we win this, I'll actually wear it on the show. So we're still not high bid. We'll contemplate if we want to throw another bid on this Shaq tailored suit, guys. So figure those could be some good pajamas. But we got some big drama happening in the sports card world. Did you hear about this? eBay?
I heard about it about 10 minutes ago when you told me.
Okay, well, this popped off today. This news is only a few hours old. So why don't I walk through this for everybody who maybe has a real job and didn't see this a couple hours ago when it landed. Apparently, eBay began sending emails to sellers who would sell box breaks and case breaks on the eBay platform. Something that's been going on for a long time. Well, eBay sent out an email saying this. I'll read this for you. I'll indulge you guys. The eBay trading cards community is filled with dedicated enthusiasts and fans looking to buy and sell in this category. With the growing popularity of case, box, and pack breaks, we're taking steps, this is eBay, to give sellers and buyers an opportunity to participate in these live events. Effective July 28th, 2023, conveniently a week and a half before the National. So they're, ramping up for that, probably or an announcement. Case, box, and packs breaks on eBay may only be sold by pre-approved sellers. Any live auctions underway can be completed, but after July 18th, you'll no longer be able to start new break listings. Sellers who have been pre-approved to sell live breaks will be contacted directly. We're continuously working to support our trading card sellers. We'll reach out if future opportunities open up for selling case, box, and pack breaks. So could you imagine getting this email and you are a box breaker, and this is either a side hustle or maybe your full-time hustle, and you hadn't heard from eBay yet, and you get this, and it's basically a drop dead date of July 18th. Let's take a look at a little bit of reaction. Warrior Card 65 on Twitter, who is it breaks on eBay. This person says, I just spoke with eBay, Ask eBay leadership. They have made the business decision to eliminate most breakers from their platform. Bottom line, if you are a huge breaker, They keep you regardless of feedback. If you don't make them millions, you get cut off at cart purchaser. He continues. I work hours and hours while my kids sleep so that I can provide and take care of my special needs son and my daughter. Their lack of accountability shows what this country is truly about. Screw the little guy, serve the rich. I am absolutely devastated. Again, this comes from Warrior Card 65 on Twitter. Looks like he found out today that he will no longer be able to sell break spots on eBay as of July 18th. Firehand Cards, our boy, he chimes in. I am hiring, no joke, if you are a breaker snubbed by eBay or a card enthusiast who wants to work as a breaker, email me, firehandcards@gmail.com. Job location is Santa Clarita, California. So Warrior Chad does continue over. He says, hey, I listen to Neo Cards and Comics, and want to mention a couple things. Ask eBay had no application process nor performance meter when choosing who keeps breaking on eBay. No warning. Today's email was out of left field. I have been there for years with no issues, done with no appeal. And he throws in the old eBay sucks picture. So what do you think about this drama going on? This is going to affect probably more people than we think, and it's certainly going to affect the marketplace. What are your kind of top line thoughts on this stuff?
Well, first of all, I do feel for the people that have been, selling on eBay, and maybe it's, 100% of their revenue, or maybe it's a 70-80% of their revenue. Certainly if you are a newer breaker, it's probably an excellent way to acquire new customers, and it's more or less maybe a lead source for you, or it's a way to sell the extra spots, or whatever it might be. I'll be honest with you, I haven't been keeping up with the breaking and the how those spots are being sold. I mean, many years ago, we were telling these guys, set up your own website. I mean, these guys wouldn't even have their own website. It's like, set up your own website, stream this stuff, have control of it end to end, because these are the types of things that can happen. The first thing I want to remind people, guys, it's not 1999 anymore. eBay is a dinosaur. I mean, we're talking about a dinosaur relic of the .com era. It is a fledgling website. And by fledgling, I don't mean it's going to go out of business, but its revenues really aren't growing. It has, what is eBay's really competitive advantage these days, other than it's been around a long time? Its customer service isn't great. The user experience on the site isn't great. I mean, I have more fun bidding on Golden's website than I do on eBay. It's easier to find things. It's easier. Everything's standardized. The shipping's cheaper. The fees can be cheaper. And so I don't know what eBay's competitive advantage is these days, other than it just has a bunch of customers, and it's been around since the 90s. And sports card collectors are lazy, and they just continue to, fortify their business on, a third tier, fifth tier e-commerce site at this point. So now that I've done, kind of my rant on eBay, look, this is an opportunity to transform your business. This is an opportunity to pivot your business. This is an opportunity to actually grow your business. Are you maybe going to have to take a half step back? Are you maybe going to have to take 2 steps back? Maybe. Ryan and I have been in this position before with eBay many times, but most specifically as an affiliate of the eBay Partner Network, going way back. I mean, we're talking way back 10 years or so ago. Ryan and I are crushing it on the eBay Partner Network. And for those of you who know, essentially an affiliate program. You post links to eBay, someone clicks, and you get a percentage of the sale. Back in the day, you had a 7-day cookie. Someone could click on your eBay link, and they could buy something within 7 days, and you got a percentage of that sale. So you can imagine how much money we were raking in. We were a top 100 affiliate over at eBay. They would bring us out to Las Vegas. We would meet with the executives. I remember being up at a Caesar's Palace, like the best Caesar's Palace suite that looks out over in, it's not really like the fountains there, not really the Bellagio fountains, but Caesar's has some fountains out there. And, times were good. And then all of a sudden you get that email from eBay and saying, we're going to go from a 7-day cookie down to 1. And so that was effectively a 90% whack on your business, something that we earned a very comfortable full-time living on, to a year or two later was a very small amount of our income. So eBay is going to do this. Any platform you use, any third party you rely on as a business is always going to be out for their best interest. And you can get on Twitter and complain and rant and this, that, and the other, but a real businessman would go put on their big boy pants and go get to work. Go get some shovels, go get some picks, and get to work. That's my opinion. Mystic Fowl with $5 was once a hater after seeing Geoff Wilson expose video, but now I appreciate what you guys do. Thank you for the $5, and thank you for coming around. Don't blame anybody for not enjoying our content or being turned off by it initially. It says more about you than it does us, the fact that you are able to turn around. We need more people in society, in my opinion, like this, where they formulate an opinion, but they're willing to change it. And so it says a lot about you and your intelligence level. If you formulate an opinion and you're willing to change it and have your mind changed, I think you are a brilliant person. So thank you for the $5. We really appreciate it. So that's what I think. I look at this just from a business perspective. And again, I do sympathize with these people, but this is a business decision by eBay. This could also mean we could go, Ryan, do you have a tinfoil hat on? I have a Titleist hat on. I don't have tinfoil over here.
We got the Knights hat, baby. We got the Champions hat on.
We could put this on and, look, this is why people tune in, but could it be that there are some legality reasons that eBay is going this route? Because why would they cut, I don't know the metaphor. Why would you cut your nose off to spite your face or whatever it is? They're going to make these people or these breakers, I should say, these breakers that get authorized, they're going to sign something. And I want to see what they sign. There is going to be something in that agreement that will be interesting to read. And so we'll probably know a breaker or two that will get into this program. And hopefully we're able to see the terms of service and read the fine print. Because that's probably my assumption, is that eBay has corporate attorneys. Those corporate attorneys are very good. Some of the best in the country. Some of the best attorneys in the country work for corporations, because if you work for the government, there's only so much money you can make. You work for these corporations, and that's where the best attorneys end up going. And so like the Michael Jordan of attorneys tend to be corporate attorneys or personal injury attorneys, stuff like that. I think they might have saw something here from a legality standpoint. eBay obviously being a public company and a large company that could be sued or that could run afoul with potentially regulators, SEC, I don't know, DOJ. There's gambling laws out there. There's all these types of things. We've talked about it a lot, not necessarily maybe on our YouTube channel, but back when we would do the podcast a lot, we talked about the legalities of breaking. I mean, we're going back 10 years here. So this is, for again, everybody that piled in when Geoff Wilson told you to buy cards, this is kind of a new discussion for people, and you're just figuring these things out. Longtime fans of Sports Card Radio understand that we've long discussed these things. And so that is I don't really think eBay is doing this because they care about group breaking and they care about the customer and they only want certain breakers to deliver that experience. They don't give a crap. It's got to be some legality reasons that they're going to have to do this. And that is worrisome. That is worrisome to me, because eBay's going to, eBay will be maybe sheltered by this. But let's say you're an eBay breaker and you get kicked off and you go somewhere else. Does that open you up to does that open you up now to some other types of, legal problems or legal questions when it comes to breaking? Because I've long believed that breaking is essentially unregulated gambling. And whether or not there's somebody out there, a regulatory agency that wants to crack down on that it will get cracked down on, that's above my pay grade. But on the surface, to me, it's an unregulated gambling activity. And, after a while, eBay, my guess is they probably looked at this, and their lawyers have looked at this, and they've realized that maybe they should rein it in a little bit. And again, I'd be very curious to see the language of the eBay agreement that you have to be signing something if you're one of these quote authorized breakers on eBay. Be very curious to see that, because I think that is going to lead clues to why they did this. Again, I don't believe they did this for the customer experience or anything like that. And this brings in greater concern for the longevity of the breaking business. If eBay's doing this out of concerns for legality, guys, it doesn't, look at Coinbase and Binance this week. Okay. They run you off a cliff. Okay. The federal government could have partnered and created legislation and worked out stuff with crypto. What'd they do? No, they actually let the companies get so big and so powerful, and then they come after you. Okay. They're doing the same thing to a former president. They're doing the same thing to lots of corporations out there. They let you run yourself over a cliff, and then they come and get you. And so we'll see if that ends up materializing. But look, I would diversify my business from a sales standpoint. I would diversify it from a product standpoint. If you're feeding your family because of just breaking trading cards, probably not going to be a sustainable model over the long term for the vast majority of people out there. Ryan, what do you think?
Chat's pretty fired up. I mean, yeah, this news just broke a couple hours ago. I think there are a lot of people who do buy and sell breaks on eBay. I think it's convenient. One thing I saw is that Check On My Cards might get into breaking. Run Good Life.
I saw that.
Run Good Life put up a YouTuber, Run Good Life put up a tweet. He used to work there. And it looks like Check On My Cards might have been testing some things. So people trust certain platforms. I saw, older people might trust Amazon and eBay, right? And the younger generation might be more hip to Whatnot and these other apps and stuff, live selling apps and stuff. So it'll be really interesting to see what happens. This news just got dropped on everybody's heads. And I know that we've met people who exclusively sell breaks on eBay, and that's like all they do. They don't have a website. They don't use Whatnot. They don't have any of that. And if you're on the outside looking in on this, it's a tough day. It's a gut punch. Like you said, we've experienced this in business definitely more than once, multiple different times that I can think of, just complete gut punches where your whole business one day is one thing and then literally the next day is another. And it doesn't matter how much value, you may or may not have provided to this big corporation. They're just going to do whatever they want. So all the more reason to, not that anybody's looking for advice here on Sports Card Radio, but my advice, having taken multiple business gut punches, over the years, when you are riding high and things are going good, definitely look to branch your reach out. If you're really selling exclusively a lot on eBay, look to create your own website, even if it's only a few sales here and there, just so that if you get the nuke, the business nuke. I mean, this is the equivalent like when PWCC got kicked off eBay. It was like the business nuke for them. And it was actually a boondoggle for other businesses. Think about Probstein or think about all the other consigners on eBay. Sometimes these things work out in your favor. A lot of times the gut punches, it's a gut punch and it doesn't work out in your favor. So You have, gosh, they didn't give you a lot of time. They literally gave you 4 weeks. They gave these guys 4 weeks. I would try to scramble. I would try to get as many customer emails as you possibly can and start sending out some emails and start reaching all of your customers that you've ever reached and tell them where you're going, whether that's whatnot. And I don't have the best advice on that. And I'm looking forward to hearing group breakers who sell on eBay, looking forward to hearing, more experienced group breakers talk about, what they're going to do from here. I don't have the right answers to say, oh, well, just move over to whatnot or call Fanatics and call Michael Rubin and ask him to, well, I don't freaking know. I might call Firehand and see if you could get a job breaking for him. You might have to fold yourself into a larger breaker. That might be the move. Maybe you have a little leverage over the next month. Call some of these larger breakers and say, hey, I have a customer I have a customer base. I've been doing this for X amount of years. I have this amount of feedback on eBay. I'll break for you, Firehand. I'll break for you, Backyard Bros. Insert whoever you want. But these are these type of moves, these big, swift moves that we're seeing. Fanatics coming in and gobbling up companies, gobbling up licenses. eBay just deciding, hey, in 4 weeks, you could have been selling on our platform for 10 years, selling brakes. And, oh, sorry. So these are the kind of ice cold things that are going to continue to happen. These companies are going to continue. These companies are not your friend. I want to Fanatics is not your friend. eBay is not your friend. At best, they might be a partner in business. But one day they could be your best buddy and flying you out to Vegas, and then the next day they cut you off or cut you by 90%. This is business. This is life. And so when you are riding high, in the moment, it's hard to in the moment say, well, at some point I'm going to be struggling, so I need to set up all these other little things so that when that moment comes, I can pivot my business or pivot my life. So it's a tough thing to do. Either way, it's a gut punch for people. I don't have good advice. We can only just kind of say, hey, this is what happened. Companies are going to start making announcements here toward the National. It's interesting that they're cutting you guys off literally like a week and a half before the National. So they're probably going to announce something like the eBay Live thing. And then, if you're approved to sell on eBay, you also have to sell on our app or sell through eBay Live or sell the product over here. They could literally have cut this down to like 10 or 15 breakers. My guess is this might be a very, very small group of people. Whereas the number of breakers, small or large, that actually sold on eBay was probably a lot. Especially if you zoom out over the last few years. We might be talking about thousands. I think we are probably talking about thousands of sellers. This may have impacted hundreds of sellers as of today, but over the last few years, there are probably thousands of people who have taken the time and listed out breaks. So, these type of things are going to continue to happen. Nuke bombs, these bombs from these big companies, they're just going to make these big sweeping decisions. And, you're either in the good old boy network and eBay chose you or they didn't. And either way, you can't really worry about it. You just got to put your head down, either pivot your business, pivot your life, accept the gut punch, and move on. I probably would not kowtow to eBay and try to get into their little community. There are other places. People have had success, a lot of success, not selling brakes on eBay. So if you have had success selling on eBay, I would strongly encourage pivot now. Get on a website, get on one of these live streaming sites. You can pick whichever one you want. Get an email list. Hopefully you have one already, and say, hey, we're going over here. And here's a 20% off coupon or whatever, and blah, 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 blah. What do you think? This is it's devastating for some people.
It's definitely devastating, but like, look, nobody's gonna feel sorry for you. Pick yourself up, dust yourself off, take a day to cry about it, take a day to tweet about it, but pick yourself up and get moving. That's what people in business do. That's what I would do if I was in business. Just pick yourself up, take a day to cry about it, take the rest of the week if you want to feel sorry for yourself. Monday's a holiday for most people. Take that day off, and on Tuesday of next week, get back to work. That's personally what I would do, honestly. So I just think that there's more to this story than eBay wants to just quote protect people, or eBay wants to just, they're worried about all this scamming on there. Why'd they all of a sudden start worrying about it now? Breaker scams have been going on eBay for how long? Like a decade and a half. We've been seeing break scams on eBay, and they just all of a sudden on June 15th woke up and wanted to care about it. Stop. Something else is happening. Something else happened. That would probably have me the most concerned, is all of a sudden June 15th, 2023, eBay wakes up and starts caring about breaks and limiting the amount of breaks that are on the website. And they're going to find a certain number of sellers. They're going to get them to sign something that has some kind of language in there that, my guess, totally resolves eBay of any liability of what they're doing. And that's it. So it doesn't bode well for me. I think the other thing that we could talk about is, maybe this is actually good for people, because as most of us know, a lot of breakers out there, they're driving up the price. Okay. They're driving up the price on this product. There's a lot of demand to buy up this product, particularly when it was hot. It's obviously less hot now. You can find this stuff for far more reasonable prices these days, or at least you can actually find it. For a while there, you couldn't even find it. But, look, maybe this is actually good for the average guy out there that maybe does a break or two here and there, depending on what the rookie class is or what sport they like. But maybe they like buying a box of whatever it is, Bowman or Tops. And now they're going to be able to get a box, and they're not going to have to fight through all the breaks and all the pick your team stuff. I think somebody made a comment, this stuff clutters up your freaking search result to where you have to, filter out the breaks and the case breaks and stuff like that. Well, now maybe you don't got to deal with that. And then part of that is eBay's fault. They should have cleaned up their search system and filters a heck of a long time ago. This site is exactly the same as it was back in 1999 when I think we set up our account on there. The site really hasn't changed at all. And so I think
there are a lot of breaks on here. This is impact. I mean,
it's going to impact a lot of people.
I mean, I found 5-6 different sellers just on one click, on one little Cajun break. I mean, there are probably hundreds of people over the course of the given year who were selling on here like this. Yeah. This is going to impact some people. That's for sure.
Yeah. But at the same time too, anytime you have something like this, it opens a door up for other innovation. You get check on my cards into breaking, and obviously Whatnot is around, and there's Loop, and there's, whatever. There's all these other apps and other places to do breaking, and all the social media sites you can stream on now. And if you want to break on there, if you have an audience there, you're going to be able to do it. Anytime you have stuff like this, it just, brings on innovation, and it brings on new options and potentially better options for the hobby in general. I just don't think eBay, like, how good is eBay for the hobby? Like, if eBay went away, yeah, there'd be a liquidity drain in terms of being able to list your cards on eBay. But the hobby would wake up tomorrow and you'd still be able to buy and sell trading cards. Like, eBay's not it's just not, it's not that important, and maybe we've just gotten way past eBay, starting there in 1999, we would buy and sell cards on there. We had a large shop and we would sell on eBay, and then we became an eBay affiliate and we crushed it for a while. And then now we're kind of like, eBay, whatever, kind of tired of it. You know what I mean? So
I think somebody could really innovate in this space.
yes,
we've seen all these stupid marketplaces pop up that basically just, are all the same. Set up a marketplace, for breakers and for breaking, and advertise the heck out of it. Like, pump the crap out of it. I think there's opportunities here. Where you get a gut punch, there's always your next opportunity. This is going to affect a lot of people. And I don't know if people are really that prepared for it. Maybe it will, in the short term, drive down the price of wax for full boxes, because there won't be as many people selling it.
That is a potential benefit, and maybe benefit is not the word, but a potential, I can't think of the word right now, but that is a potential consequence of this action, and that you see a drop in unopened wax pricing, an increase in supply, slightly less demand because now you can't buy this stuff and list it on auction on eBay. So in some cases, I actually think it's, I'd be excited. We've got 500 people in the chat. Unless you're a breaker, I'd be rather excited about it. Who we got here? Oh yeah, that one girl.
Our girl, she breaks.
Okay, she's still gonna break on eBay, you think?
Can
I nominate her to get an eBay?
Can we nominate her?
Yeah,
can we to get an eBay?
Email eBay.
I think we need.
I think we need that.
I think we need that.
Sure.
Yeah, I bet the number of breakers that are actually approved is like super small.
I bet it's a very small amount.
It's like really, really small amount, because that's why nobody really heard about this. If it was like 150 people had been approved by eBay, that would have gotten out days ago, even if they had just made this decision. But this news just dropped. I bet it's the kind of the 10, 12 people that everybody knows.
Sure.
That sell on eBay, or maybe are agreeing to now sell on eBay. It's going to be interesting to me, the battle between Fanatics and eBay. They're both going to want you to break on their platform to get that revenue. But Fanatics is going to be able to control who gets the product. So does Fanatics just shut down eBay anyways? We've got this new Fanatics, whatever it's called, Fanatics Live or whatever. This is coming probably before the National too. That's not it. But they're starting Fanatics is starting their own breaking.
I saw they put out a little tweet the other day that kind of teased it just a little bit.
Yeah, they're already teasing it and already, getting breakers. We showed it one time on this channel where you could sign up, and I'm sure everybody has already signed up, but is Fanatics just going to shut down eBay? That, yeah, you're going to be able to break on eBay, but it's going to be the older stuff, or it's not going to be Fanatics. Best thing that has happened for this hobby is the fact that Panini has held on and hasn't sold. If Panini had already folded up into Fanatics, Fanatics could have just railroaded all you guys already. The fact that you still can have the good old homie network and go over to Panini and get your cases and your boxes is still propping up a lot of people. That'll be the next boom domino to fall, is when Fanatics takes control of everything. They'll be able to have leverage over all you shops, over all the breakers, over everybody who relies on new product. Fanatics will literally just be able to control you, basically control you. They will be your boss at that point, control your life. And they can either make you or break you. They could put you on their platform. They can decide to kick you off their platform. They could decide to sell you product, or they could decide to not sell you product. That'll be the next shoe to drop. And we're just seeing these big things happen by these big companies making these big sweeping decisions. And I don't think the hobby was that prepared for it. I don't think they actually understood what Fanatics' plan and intentions were. And now you're seeing the other big brands and the other big companies in the spaces having, eBay's having to make, decisions surrounding cards. So this is going to affect hundreds of people.
Yeah.
Hundreds of people.
Do you think eBay would approve us as a breaker?
Not without, one of us driving over to San Jose and knocking on some doors.
You're pretty close.
I'm pretty close. Yeah, that would be, if we ever, honestly, that would be my advice. If you ever really needed eBay for something, just fly out to California, go to their office, show up and talk to somebody in person and meet somebody that you actually can build some kind of relationship with. And that's the way you could get in the good graces of eBay. But I would hard pivot. If you're over here selling break spots on eBay, I'd hard pivot. Might be hard. I would hard pivot, or I would call one of these other breakers and see if maybe now is the time for you guys to team up or some link up. But you got a month. They dropped this on these people ahead, and they gave them 4 weeks. I mean, they dropped this on their head. I could see how this is hard, because eBay does everything for you. They set up the listing, the shipping labels, the marketing, everything's by eBay. Now, if you have to hard pivot off of that, this is a freaking gut punch. That's for sure. I wish I had some better news for people who were selling breaks on eBay, but that email right there is a gut punch. And if you're not one of these good old boys and you're not in with the breaking crowd, I bet it's like 10 breakers. It's got to be like 10 breakers. Can't be anything more than that. Do we win the Shaq suit?
Seems like a lot.
3 minutes left. Yeah, that's kind of a lot. Let's see if I'm just going to fire off any more bids. You guys can watch me degen off some money. 250. These used to sell for way more. 199 refractor, 0607. So that's like a third-year LeBron finest refractor. Dope card. Probably a little bit more than I want to pay. You can see where my high bid was. It was like $60 earlier in the day. Kobe, we're kind of buying a lot of Kobe autographs. We bought this one over here for $6,000. We bought the book for $558. This is a signed book with an inscription in Italian. So we are in the market for Kobe stuff, because honestly, I think his stuff is underpriced when you compare that to, like, what is this?
Whoa.
$1,700? This is still going.
Insane.
This doesn't make any sense to me. This is why I'm buying, I bought this last week, $1,100. Here's one here's one, 27 for this one. Now this is a 10-9. This is an older card, 2002. So yeah, you'd rather have this card, but I don't know, maybe not for $1,800 more.
No, I like the one we got.
This is insane to me. The fact that this cat's cards are still selling for $1,700. No, that just makes no sense to me. So to me, Kobe's stuff is underpriced. That's why I've fired away on some of these things. This card, I remember pulling one of these back in the day. I pulled one of the ones to 80. So I thought about bidding on that, but I think that's a little too much for a Sage. Jordan Cleat, that is very strong price for that card. This card actually sold raw a few months ago for like $100. So whoever submitted this card submitted it over to BGS, got an 8.5, ended up over at Golden, and is at 364. You can literally find 88 of 100 on eBay because I looked up this card. So that's a strong price. Shaq suit to $300. I was just going to wear that on the show. I thought it'd be funny. Oh, this is an amazing card. This is one of those cards. Serial number to 9,500. So hard to pull. Hard to find these cards too.
Yeah.
I mean, this is like classic 4-sport. When this came out, this was like a dream card. Now, all these guys are bust pretty much except for our boy Shaq. That's why it's only worth $100. Got Desmond Howard on there. So we're firing on that. Firing on this Tiger book. Did it end? It's kind of dope, but it is personalized. Pat Mahomes, we fired on this just because I thought for less than 1,000 it would be a good deal. It's currently at 1021. On card, serial number to 10. And, you know, everybody thinks he's the best quarterback in the league, except for your boy Jamar Chase, who's firmly behind Joe Burrow. So we fired on some stuff. We got the Vegas Golden Knights parade. We got the Denver Nuggets parade today. So everybody in Denver is just high on altitude. They're high on the legal marijuana there. They're high on the Nuggets championship. Saturday night in Vegas. How about a nighttime Saturday? Flamingo to Trot, baby. Blink and you're going to miss it, baby. Blink and you're going to miss it. Here's the Aria pool. Oh, I love it. There's the Aria pool right there. Anyways, we won't spend too much time on that, but it was fun watching Vegas Knights win a championship, and I'm sure all the Nuggets fans are out there happy. But who's not happy are these eBay box sellers who got absolutely devastated. If you're just joining the program, guys, eBay, effective a few hours ago, basically shut down hundreds of sellers, hundreds of box breakers from selling on eBay.
Brutal.
Effective July 18th, case, box, and pack breaks may only be sold by pre-approved sellers. And it's believed that there certainly aren't a whole lot of pre-approved sellers. And Warrior Cards 65, who I saw was in this chat, shout out Warrior Cards for watching the show. He said he talked to eBay, and there's no way to get into this good old boy network. So we got big shakeups happening in the group break world. That'll be really interesting to see, first of all, what happens and if it will affect the price of wax even a little bit, even if it affects it 10%. Pretty significant amount of money. If there's not those hundreds of group breakers in there buying this stuff, and especially buying new product. I mean, you could do a box break of press pass hang time. Your lot sold $64 for one
Not
of
bad.
these. You like the 1999 sticker?
1999 triple retail, baby. You're the only one getting triple retail right now for hobby
That's
boxes.
right, baby. Let's
Last
see
year.
what
What'd
we
you get
got
on
for
that?
this.
Okay.
This is going to be a break even because of the fees.
Okay.
So I didn't make any money there. I made
sometimes breaking even's not the. What I would do is maybe just slow it down, wait till football season on that. Like I would just football season that should be like a 225, 250 bill. I would just wait till football season. We're what, a month and a half from football season being kind of like hot or whatever. I would just wait until football season. That obviously is hot right now. You got basketball. Everybody cares about basketball.
Everybody's looking for a 2008 press pass basketball box.
Yeah, who isn't? Who isn't?
I mean, I could probably search eBay and find breaks for it right now. So, I mean, you know, it is amazing. I mean, you see player breaks. I mean, they're breaking this down to the player.
Yeah.
40 box blaster case. I mean, this is getting scalped to no end here. And I think eBay probably just got tired of this. They probably were getting too many complaints. It was too confusing for people. They didn't know what they were buying. They probably thought a lot of people, and you can call them whatever you want, they probably thought they were buying a real box. A lot of people. And eBay was getting too many complaints, or from the legal side of things. They looked at it and they were like, oh, wow, what's going on? I saw that DraftKings is getting involved in a lot of breaks and have been selling breaks.
Yeah.
You know, that's a regulated gambling site that is getting into this space. So,
yeah.
What do you think? You want to hit some questions? You want to
hit some questions?
Fire some more.
You didn't win anything fun last week. I mean, we won some fun stuff. We won the Kobe. We won. Show that Kobe. Oh, really paid a strong price for that. But that's an exquisite with kind of his older signature. What year is that? 06? 06. I just love that.
The 410 auto.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, the auto's 10, which is fine. Those cards, those cards typically didn't come. Somebody banged that card around a little bit. I don't think Kobe banged it around all by himself signing it. But
it's really screwed up in the top corner.
Yeah, I mean, that one's going in the safe, so that one won't see the light of day for a while. But I'm excited about that one when that one finally comes in. The Tiger, that one also going in the safe. That one ain't going to see the light of day for a long time.
This one ended for a lot of money.
Yeah. I mean, U.S. Open is this week. We got a question about it. U.S. Open's this week, and it's on the West Coast. Anytime you got a golf tournament out here on the West Coast, it allows kind of the East Coast to really consume it from a TV perspective, and the West Coast too. And so, and you had golf combined, last week. They actually did, I actually think they did the right thing personally and combined all the tours together. And so golf in the long run is probably going to be pretty strong. Tiger's got his little indoor thing that's coming. I think that's probably, it's probably Tiger's best bet to actually see him swing a club here in the next 12 months is some kind of indoor thing where he doesn't have to walk around. So I'm excited about that. Yeah. Ricky Fowler 62. So if he can pull one off this week, I mean, yeah, there was, I think 2 guys at 8 under, and the next closest, I looked at a couple hours ago. I didn't get to watch it today, but next closest guy was 3 under
in the U.S. Open.
Yeah. Xander Schauffele and Fowler shot 8 under, and everybody else was.
Were they playing on a putt course? The U.S. Open, I thought it's supposed to be hard.
It is. I think it is, but it's, they just caught fire. They probably made
balled out.
I don't know.
Damn.
I was going to watch the highlight. I didn't watch the highlights. I assume they either, they probably made putts and maybe had a chip in or two. Probably drove it well too. I mean, you're going to drive it well anywhere. You're going to shoot a score like that. So, but yeah, U.S. Open this week, golf should be a little hotter than normal, but, obviously Tiger coming back would be exciting. Super sticker from Samuel Lawrence. Got hooked up by this guy, right?
Fuck yeah, we did.
You feeling good?
I'm feeling great over here. Thank you, Samuel.
Yeah. I met him at a show a couple weeks ago, and so that was a good time. Yeah, Jaw Card's going for that much. I mean, what's that? I can't see the buyer's premium, but that seems like a lot.
1861. It's numbered 25. Blah 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 blah. This makes no sense to me. Even if he wasn't caught up in his stuff, this guy is not a freaking multi NBA championship player. He's just not. He's not. Little guys, except for Steph Curry, who is like the greatest shooter of all time, he's the only one who's been able to win a championship as a little guy. Curry. And Curry's not that little. He's huge compared to John Morant. John Morant's not going to lead his team to an NBA Finals, being the best player. It's not going to happen. Never going to happen. Replay this in 10 years. It's not going to freaking happen. I don't care what happens with his little charges. $1,800? $6K for this Kobe was a steal. $1,100 for freaking Tiger Woods.
That's a steal. That's not
$1,800. I don't get it. I that's why I think this stuff is underpriced. That's why we're over here and we fired off 10,000. I mean, this isn't the only stuff we bought. We're not selling this. This is a world championship patch on it. We bought this for 420. Cool. Bought this Arnold Palmer signed hat for
That's cool.
$86.
Yeah, it's cheap.
I mean, come on. Can't flip that somewhere.
Somewhere. Get 100.5 for it, maybe 125.
I still don't get the I don't get the $1,800. This guy's it's not like this guy has built up a bunch of goodwill and he has like a huge fan base. We all know some of the things that Tiger's gotten himself into.
Sure.
Okay. But
Tiger's
he's he's won some things.
Yeah.
That's why I think this stuff is just underpriced. That's why I was firing on this LeBron. That's why I'm firing on Kobe stuff. Anything that says Kobe Bryant and has a signature, in my opinion, should be a four figures. Period.
Yeah. Well, that's what I like about Kobe is the really, really high end, the patch autograph stuff of his. That stuff is already at 5 figures. And so that is going to continue. And so to get into a Kobe Bryant autograph into the future is going to cost more and more money as the years go on, because obviously, sadly, he's not going to be signing any more cards. And the other thing that I think is interesting about Kobe is they're not making any more of his cards, period. And so, and I don't know, but does his wife doesn't need any money. His wife doesn't need to be bothered. His wife doesn't need to deal with some trading card manufacturer and approve images of Kobe and hire somebody to do that. She doesn't need to be bothered to do that. In fact, it might actually be one of the last things she wants to do, to be reminded of that era. So I don't know if we'll ever even see Kobe cards again. Just Kobe cards. Let alone, I mean, we know we're not going to get any side cards, unless we get AI version of Kobe coming back or something. They upload Kobe into some AI machine and we get Kobe back. But like, we might not get Kobe cards, period. Like, this might be it. Okay. And so that has me, that thought, and it's very similar. You go look and look the pricing on Michael Jordan, Chicago Bulls licensed Upper Deck autograph cards. Those things are ridiculous. I mean, his Wizard stuff is still valuable, right? And it's still collectible, but nothing like the Chicago Bulls stuff. And then when you look at his UNC stuff that he's had after Upper Deck lost its license, nowhere near what the original stuff actually goes for. And so this is something that's going to play out over obviously a long period of time. And look, the next generation isn't going to be as connected to Kobe and as connected to him. But look, nobody alive has much connection to Mickey Mantle. And, and Kobe, in my opinion, in his prime, far more popular than Mickey Mantle ever was. And so I like those odds in terms of, look, everybody's got a safe. Everybody's got cards they're going to put there. Are you putting John Morant tie-dye, or are you going to put the real stuff? And so this is the kind of stuff I would bid on. This is the stuff that, we're going to start. And this was the plan all along. You start off buying kind of the little stuff. You chip up. And then, finally you start.
We're still buying the little stuff. I bought a bunch of Zion Williamson graded cards for $3.50 the other day.
Sure.
So there's a bottom for everything. There's a place to sell everything.
Yeah.
Sometimes you sell stuff on eBay. Sometimes you sell stuff locally. Sometimes you sell stuff at a show. Some stuff goes to ComC. Some stuff goes to Golden. If it's in the PSA vault, these are already in the PSA vault. Seems like a great place to sell these.
Yeah.
Easy sell, right? Look at the price on this. $36,000, baby. Whew. Barry Sanders.
Mint 8 or near mint 8. Wow. That's
34.50.
Good Lord. Near mint 8.
Premium rubies, not just the star rubies, baby. This is the premium rubies. That is a 1997. Yeah, you get a premium. Yeah, exactly. When you go to the strip for the Vegas Golden Knights parade, Flamingo to Trot, baby.
Premium ruby.
Don't blink. Don't get something premium before and you miss the 30-minute Parade down the strip.
Depends on what the premium is. You might want to miss the parade for the premium.
There could be a lot of premium hanging out.
I think super producer Tim has joined the chat. He has clocked in today to earn his 5% equity in Sports Card Radio when either Fanatics or Collector Group come knocking and buys our wonderful platform that we have over here at
I'm sure they can't wait for that. Yeah, they're just chomping at the bit for that.
Chomping at it. Why don't we answer? So you want to go to the questions, or because we're an hour in?
Let's go.
All right, Tim. I'm glad you clocked in, but we are going to go to the questions. Kevin O'Connor with the 279 Canadian. Our man always clocks in with the Canadian dollar, man. Tell you what, get some Canadian bacon with that. Appreciate it as always, Mr. Connor. The Port Moody Kid said, listening from the rugged Rockies of British Columbia. Very glad to have you. Money Mike says, has the cartel shown up in Stockton yet? No, these guys, they'd get off Highway 5 there and do a U-turn back to Lodi or something, because only the real men can get on the streets of Stockton, that's for sure. Jimbaugh says, will you be at the National? And if so, will you go meet Geoff Wilson at the Sports Card Investor booth? If so, let me know so I can be there to watch. I will not be going to the National this year. Nothing against the National, nothing against the city that it is in. I have never been to the National. I don't have any interest in going. If it goes to Malibu or maybe Florida, Vegas, I would go. But nothing against Illinois, Rosemont, Illinois, nothing against Cleveland. Certainly, we've got some things that we can go against. What was it? New Jersey is where it was in. And then what's the other city that it goes to?
Cleveland, New Jersey,
Baltimore. Wasn't it in Baltimore, or am I wrong?
In 2012.
Yeah. So nothing against all of those cities, but in the summertime, pay to leave California to go to one of those places. No, thanks. But Ryan, you've been to the National, I don't know, a lot of times. Any plans to attend this year? And if you do, would you go and meet Geoff Wilson?
I don't have any plans to attend presently, but those could change over the next few weeks if I decide I want to go try out some thin crust or some deep dish in Chicago. Hey, if we ever do anything with Geoff Wilson, we need to have like multiple cameras around and really good audio, and we need everybody. And his wife, and we need his wife wired up. We need everybody wired up. We need multiple camera angles, and so that we can produce some kind of 8-part special for Sports Card Radio. I mean, it would be, what a shame it would be to see this guy at a card show and waste the interaction. Like somebody's got it on a cell phone camera from like 8 feet away, from 80 feet away. They're like, oh, I see Geoff and Sports Card Radio are talking. No, we need to have like 8 cameras and a boom mic and everything, maximum exposure.
Yep.
So so if Geoff, let's see, where's our card picture of Geoff? Yeah, we could set that up for maximum exposure. Probably not going to fly to Chicago for that, but here, wait, this one. The Golden Knights parade will take up at least 8 hours to go that distance because of the street lights on every corner. You're dang right. And they've got it down to 1 lane in Vegas preparing for the F1 race. So they've got like the traffic down to 1 lane. They'll have to like scoot by in 1 lane or something. Have the players actually probably get out and walk for a little bit with the cup, which maybe they won't mind doing. But yeah, this little trip. Well, yeah, if you actually walk from Lingo to Trop, that's actually, boy, that's a trip. But yeah, this would be fun time to be in Vegas. I used to live right here in this building, I think, right there. So thoughts
on Pokemon? It's cool.
I think better than
a Pokemon card this week on eBay. So
I think it's better than Lorcana. I think there's a lot of opportunities to flip Pokemon cards. there's a ton that sell on Golden. I wish I knew a little bit more about Pokemon, because I bet there's a ton that's underpriced, and that you could then go scalp over on a Pokemon site or go scalp on eBay or wherever. I wish I knew more about it.
Are we going to the US Open? I am not. A little busy right now at the current time, and golf tournaments in general are, especially like US Open majors, little busy. But there is a major next year in April where I signed up for tickets, and if we get them first week of April or second week of April, we'll be going to that. All I want to know is, can you still buy Skittles in California? So far you can. And I tell you what, if they get banned, I think buying them all up, because the prices would skyrocket.
What happened? Wait.
There's a dye in there. There's a dye in there that allegedly causes cancer, maybe. I don't know. I'm not a scientist, but I think if you eat them every day, it's probably a risk, but probably. Yeah. Sports Card Radio, what is your top 3 sports card mistakes? I would say probably not holding on to something from the 0304 era, when we had a bunch of unopened wax and boxes, like a Topps Chrome box or something like that sell for tens of thousands of dollars. Not just keeping one of them, like,
well, wrapper, probably like. We had so many, because the 0304 Finest would come with 3 mini box, and then it had like a little pack. I remember I would keep the boxes for the unopened boxes for a while. We have an unopened box somewhere of 2000 Contenders football.
Yeah,
there's no packs inside, but one of those boxes, I think I saw one of those boxes sold for like 50,000 or
it's around here.
Crazy. Yeah, I mean, just the empty box is probably worth the $300,
couple $100 or something.
Yeah, so I wish. Yeah, you're right. I wish we had some of that stuff.
Something.
Probably, yeah. It's really more just stuff I wish we would have kept.
Yeah,
or
I think not buying more on the downswings because trading cards go through bubbles, obviously, and there's like moments when it gets hot. Not buying more when it falls out of favor, I think, is another. I wouldn't necessarily call it a mistake, but and I know it's easy to say in hindsight, but these things move in cycles. I think just buying more when that happens. Any other sports card mistakes? I can't really think of another one other than
Colton
I wish
Cowser's
I would have
still hitting 300.
What's that?
I said Colton Cowser's still hitting 300.
So those are sitting in the safe unsold. So, but yeah, I'm sure if I thought about it, I could figure out a few more. But I think if you've got a safe, put something in there that's really good and just leave it there and forget about it. That would be my advice. David Hughes with the $1.99. Mystic Fall again, showing how wise he is by. And look, you don't have to change your mind, but I actually think people that have an open mind, give themselves opportunity to change their mind, are some of the brightest people. Did you guys hear about Upper Deck's new rules for their hobby stores? I did not. I am not aware of the new rules. I know that Upper Deck has been historically relatively, I don't know if strict is the word, but they have, I don't know if high standards is the word.
Yeah, no,
but
you got to be in a club.
They're selective, I think, is the right term to use. And I think they should be, honestly. Like, you can't just go into any store, in any jewelry store, and buy a Rolex. You can't go to any store and buy a Louis Vuitton. You can't go to any store and just buy an iPhone even. And so I actually think trading cards should position themselves like those brands do. Nike is similar too. They just got back into Macy's, and they're going to try to go back into retail. But for a while there, Nike was trying to pull out of retail. I think trading cards should actually position themselves like a high-end brand. Not that not everything's high-end that Nike sells. Not everything's high-end that, Rolex and Louis Vuitton, maybe not a great example, but Just because you're relatively exclusive doesn't mean you have to be pricing everybody out. I just think positioning the brand there would be smart, in my opinion. And I actually think Upper Deck does that. They actually position their brand higher than some of these other companies. And I respect that. And if they had more licenses, their cards would be more valuable. Honestly, the basketball cards they make, the football cards would be more valuable than the brands that don't. We're going to see significant changes to the breaking segment if Fanatics IPO goes ahead. That's from Dan the Card Man. Yeah. So the IPO window was closed. It was one of the lowest IPO markets back. Well, I mean, you had one of the greatest years. I think 2021 was like the highest year on record. And so naturally 2022 sucked because, everything went down in 2022. So nobody wanted to raise money. I think a Mexican bowl company went public for like a decent amount. There's some computer chip companies that are going to go IPO, and Fanatics is actually one of the larger ones. So if we have momentum's in the stock market right now, if it stays, Fanatics is going to go public probably this year. Wow. Like this year, it will happen this year because they'll want to they would be smart to take advantage of that kind of hype cycle that it appears we're rolling into. Any pullbacks, any downtrend in the stock market, and my guess is the IPO would get put off until another time. What is Pac-Man reputation with you guys? I don't know much about Pac-Man other than that I've seen very brief moments of his social media. Occasionally his one of his videos will show up in my YouTube, and so I see his thumbnail. I don't know much about this guy, and in fact, if I walked by him at a trading card store or a trading card show, probably a better way to say it, I don't know if I would recognize him. Honestly, he looks like, and this is not, I'm not trying to be rude, but he looks like every other guy at some San Jose card show. Like, I mean, I don't know how else to put it, but is he a nice guy? What's his reputation like? I don't know. It seems like he's doing pretty good on YouTube, and he's got a good following and a good niche. So I don't know. I don't know if you have another opinion of him other than that.
I've never met him, never communicated with him in any kind of way. Seems like a nice guy though. Seems like a nice guy, makes good videos. He's got 250,000 subscribers.
It's a lot.
Our boy's over here killing it. So
he's crushing it.
He's crushing it. It seems like and it seems like he gets stuff out in a timely way. And if you're in the space where you're opening product and you're not a breaker, I don't think he's selling this stuff. I think it's more just for the YouTube channel and hype and stuff. So you've got to get this stuff out in a timely way. And he does seem to open products in a timely manner. Now, whether he's getting the hookup from Fanatics, whether he's getting the hookup from Panini, honestly, they should send him boxes.
I would too.
It'd be stupid if they didn't. He's got 250,000 subscribers. If I was anybody making cards, I'd be like, hey, bro, here's a box. I'm going to send it to you. We should
buy that Shaq suit and then like take the other stuff that we buy and then like partner with maybe like Leaf. And I think we should do this at some point. Like get some of this stuff, partner with like
make
Leaf,
our own cards,
have him make a set for us. And then we'll call Pac-Man and be like, hey, hype this on your channel to your 250,000 subs. And we'll break some stuff here. We'll do it to where we don't really make any money, but like, could we break even or something and just have fun? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I think we should try that at some point. I know Brian Gray watches, so maybe he'll be down. When is SCR getting an influencer card? Maybe we got to call Brian Gray and make our own. Maybe that's what we got to do.
Maybe,
our price graph wouldn't look like that. Be going the other direction, baby. Did SCR get sued by Geoff Wilson? No, we did. We never got sued. No one ever sued.
The wheels of justice turn slowly, baby.
Well, yeah. And they realized they would not. That lawsuit would get tossed out very, very quickly. Does producer Tim get a card? Yes, you would get it. You would get a card as well, and you would collect all the royalties on that card, which may or may not be a lot of money. Does SCR do any breaks? No, we don't do breaks. We don't. No, we only sell single cards. And we're
And
not
press
getting
pass
in.
basketball and press pass basketball.
Yeah. Maybe if on check out my cards, if you're able to click some buttons and do a break like that, may be where we're going. I actually would be very excited if that's the way we're going. You send your box in to check out my cards or similar type platform, and they do all the work for you. Now I'm into breaking. Now, yes, SCR does breaks. If all you have to do is source the product and send it in, yes, SCR does breaks. If I got to sit there and break it out myself, no. Now, if any of you out there, you want to be a breaker and you want a business backer and you got a great business plan, maybe you got some existing customers, you just need maybe some marketing, sportscardshow@gmail.com. We'd be interested in talking with you. You could be the quote official sponsor of Sports Card Radio from a breaking perspective. And we basically have an equity stake in what you got going on. That's how I would do that. Does Sports Card Radio have over or under $500,000 in the bank? Under, way under.
We're taking the under here, baby.
And here's the deal. I don't know if I'll ever have over $500,000 of cash in the bank. Okay. If interest rates stay at 5, they keep climbing. Sure. Makes sense. Okay. I don't think that's going to happen. We won't get into that discussion. I don't think that happens. I think interest rates go back down. It penalizes savers, penalizes having money, quote, in the bank. Will I one day have $500,000 of watches? At the peak of watch values, I was halfway there. At the peak of watch values, I was actually halfway to $500,000 just in watches. But cash, no, I don't think I'll ever have cash. If you include equity of houses, which I don't, because I'm not selling my house, so it doesn't count. But no, I am not rich, but I am blessed. I'll just put it that way. I'm not rich, but I am very, very fortunate and feel very fortunate and grateful.
I cannot afford this John Moran card that is $2,100 with 4 minutes left.
52 bids. Insane. Did y'all get a table at the Burbank Card Show? No, but we'll probably be there. Not for very long. We'll, and I'm just speaking for myself. Ryan might have different plans, but the plan is probably to go one of the days. I don't know what day. Walk around, kiss some babies, maybe buy a card or two, and leave. That's the plan for the Burbank Card Show. But no table. The last show we did is I might retire from cards shows setting up because it's a job and it's a grind. AC, are you guys setting up a table at East Bay Card Show? No, probably not. Ryan might, but we don't have any inventory right now either. We sold out all our inventory. We've been buying Kobe's and we've been buying Tigers. And so we don't really have a lot of inventory at the moment. Samuel Lawrence, who we met at the show, that was the best part of the show, was getting to meet people. And that would be my incentive to set up at a show. If there's a one-day show, yeah, I think there's that Auburn Card Show. Yeah, set up at a one-day show, no big deal. You show up, a couple hours, you leave. Anything over that, it's tough. It's tough for me. Why do people blame breakers for prices and not who makes the cards and put out the high prices? It's a supply and demand thing. You know what I mean? Like the manufacturers can charge whatever they want, but it's the demand that actually controls the price. And if there's breakers out there buying this stuff, that does drive the price up. And so I actually think this will have a downward pressure on pricing. If all of a sudden people can't break on eBay, a large portion of those people are just going to quit. Or their business is not going to continue the where it was. They're going to switch to Whatnot or Twitter or Instagram or wherever they want to break. It's not going to be as good. It's not going to be as liquid. And so eventually they fall off and they quit. So it should have a downward pressure on that. I'm not blaming the breakers per se. I'm just saying they're part of the demand equation. Okay. They're part of buying up the supply, lower supply, higher prices. And that's okay. Hey guys, pop on over here in West Palm Beach area. Tiger is very close to Jupiter. Believe it or not, in about 30 days, potentially, we might be in that West Palm Beach area. But sometime this year, actually, no, legitimately, at least once, maybe more than once, we'll be visiting the great state of Florida. Believe it or not. Neil Shafton, the Golden Knights parade. Wish I was there.
So do I.
David Kahana with the $4.99. We are live. I look forward to speaking in an effort to resolve the matter with respect to my client, Mr. Siegel Harris W. Gilbert Esquire.
Investacard. So Investacard was, let's pull up his Instagram. Investacard wrote a loan.
Okay.
On a stolen.
Oh, that's right.
Michael Jordan card.
Okay, we're going back a ways.
We're going back a ways, but our boy Investacard is the man in the suit right here. It's the man right here. He wrote a loan for it, and then he got sued by the person who owned the stolen property. And they're working through some issues. It does appear that this lawsuit, there's going to be some communication between the lawyers. So we will stay on top of that on Sports Card Radio. You do remember a couple weeks ago, I won't pull up the LoopNet, but the office building that Investacard was renting, well, he's no longer there anymore. So, missing in action over here is Investacard. I don't know how long of this post was. I'm horrible at Instagram. It says April 1st right here. I guess that could be when he posted it. I think he's done some stories. But this guy's been kind of MIA. And we've seen what happened to PWCC, the loan for card business. It's not a very good business. It's a little risky business. This guy would take a card. You could come to this guy with like an expensive Michael Jordan card, or say, for instance, maybe like a card like this.
Sure.
That's worth $30,000. And this guy would give you like 60% of the value. So he'd write you a check for like 18 racks. And then he'd take possession of the card. There'd be all this little signatures. And then you'd owe him X amount per month. So what happened is that Investacard wrote a loan on a stolen Michael Jordan card. That was worth, I believe, around $65,000. And he got sued over it. So there's a lot of business risk associated with loaning money for cards. So we will see what happens. And David Kahana is knee deep in that effort there. 420 Amsterdam says, nice boys. I'll show you a good time. Hey, let's go to Amsterdam and have a really good time.
Let's do that. Thoughts and opinions on Jobs family? I don't know. I don't have any at the current time.
I don't watch his. I need to start watching his videos because I hate when people say, "Oh, I don't watch the stuff. I don't keep." Yeah, I legitimately have only seen maybe less than a half dozen of his videos. So I actually want to make the commitment to start watching his videos and see what all the fuss is about, and see what he actually talks about, see what type of person he is on camera. We know what type of person he is off camera. Jab's family is notorious for kicking his dog out of the house and apparently kicking his family out of the house, among other things.
Man.
But, I'd rather watch his content, and I think it's pretty dry. He literally does a similar thing to what our boy Pac-Man does. Our boy Pac-Man just over here opening cards. Looks like that's what our boy Jab's family does. He just kind of opens cards. Now, his are going to be the older variety a lot of times. I think he sticks to baseball. But in 20, 30 years, our boy over here, Pac-Man's going to be a little bit older. He's probably going to be doing a similar thing, right? He's going to be opening older stuff that he likes. So, the cards are all stuck together. Oh, that's why you got to be careful opening old wax, Jab's family. Cards are all stuck together because of the gloss. Oh, that's horrible. Oh, look at him. I got to watch our boy. He has 142,000 subscribers.
He's popping.
Our boy Jab's family over here killing it.
Popping.
So look, there's a lot of stuff. I think anytime you get to a level, and we see it too, anytime you get to a level, you're going to receive praise and criticism. There are going to be people who love this dude, Jab's family, and there are going to be people who hate him. And he certainly, I think by some of his videos, they can be a little flexy. opening 100 silver packs.
We've
And I
never
think
done that here.
We've never flexed at all. No, we've never flexed at all any of our purchases that we've ever made in our life. So I think that's going to rub some people the wrong way in the hobby, that at some point, yeah, if you flex, if you're over here opening stuff and kind of doing some things, but I got to start watching his videos. We're not logged in. I would hit subscribe right now if I was, but I just need to start watching some of his videos to just, I think he's doing the same thing as our boy over here. They're doing the same thing. They're just sitting there opening cards, and anything you do in the sports card community, you're going to get some praise for it. And then you're going to rub some people the wrong way. I mean, you could sit here dry as a bone, G-rated, and you're going to get people who are going to hate on you one way or the other, let alone if you get to the height that these 245,000 for our boy Pac-Man and 142,000 subscribers for Jab's family. So it'd be fun if he called in one night and we could ask him about the dog, and we could ask him about his wife. Did he, we can ask him about the drama. I don't care about 2019 Topps Archive signatures at all. I want to know about the drama. I want to know about the drama. Tell me about the dog. Tell me about the wife.
We have got Mr. or M. Jordan and Goat, M. Jordan and Goat chasing Tiger Woods cards now. Any tips for a beginner? I would say just notice tonight, that was what we won last week. And there's this huge discrepancy. That is a second, or no, that was maybe a third year card. Second year card. So there's some discrepancy there, but if you're just chasing Tiger Woods autograph, there is some discrepancy between, that one's 2021. So, I don't think there's that big of a difference there between those two. But obviously stick to anything Upper Deck. I wouldn't buy anything PSA DNA or GASA or anything like that. I would stick to just Upper Deck stuff when it comes to Tiger.
Book. Is the book on here? Here's the book. I
mean,
I thought about it. But
we have other Tiger. I have one that I got Tiger in person 4 years ago. We just bought that one. We have an 8x10 that's at the secret location. We have other Tiger Woods stuff. And so I could see after you get a few of them, you can dabble in some of this other stuff. But if I was just starting a Tiger collection, I'm sticking to just Upper Deck and try to find the most affordable one that you can find if you're in the autographs. And I actually think the autographs are where I would go. His rookie cards were just mass produced, and particularly the Upper Deck one, obviously, which is the only one. But I would stick with the autographs and buy the ones that are the most affordable. Didn't Stockton go bankrupt a few years ago? I think they did.
Yeah, they did.
And Burbank has the studios that populate it. So, Stockton, not known for its financial literacy. That's for sure. Well, folks, we have gone on for an hour and a half. We have toured the Jobs family videos, the Pac-Man videos, She Breaks. Many others have made appearances here on the channel. I'll just leave her up. Hopefully you guys have a wonderful week. Hopefully we come back again next Thursday. More businesses have been disrupted and ruined by eBay banning sellers and only letting the privileged few sell on an antiquated and dinosaur relic of the .com era website. Hopefully anybody negatively affected by this can rebuild their business, pivot their business, and hopefully recover here very soon. If you want to come on the show next week and vent, we will certainly be here on Sports Card Radio. To all the playas and balas in the chat, thanks for tuning in tonight. We enjoy having you, enjoy being here with you each and every week here on Sports Card Radio. Thank you for super producer Tim clocking in for that 5% equity, baby. That is going to cash in one day when one of the two richest companies decides to buy Sports Card Radio. That'll happen any
We
day
get some of
now.
that Saudi money. We'll take some of that Saudi money, some of that live golf money.
I'll take Putin money if I have to, but that might be controversial. That might get us banned here. But if he offered us a couple $100,000 for the channel, it would be, there'd be a Russian girl here doing the show next week. So, but yeah, we'll take money from anybody over here at Sports Card Radio. We're not shy about it. So if anybody wants to come and wave the paper in front of our face, we'll certainly reach our hand out and take a little bit of it. But in the meantime, hope you guys have a wonderful day out there. Ryan, do you have any parting words for the family?
Betsy, answer my DMs.
Betsy, answer the DMs.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for tuning in. For now, we are out of here.
B-side on the beat.
What's going on with that PPP? You done a lot of talking, not a lot to see. Up in the millions like 2.3, but Geoff got it all, getting off scot-free. Try to talk tips like we talking about stock, but you're talking about men printed on called stock. When you open your mouth, I take it with a grain of salt, cause the market's down and you're a clown, it's all your fault. You ruin the hobby I love with your bullshit. Geoff Wilson, Geoff Wilson. You ruin the hobby I love with your bullshit. Geoff Wilson, Geoff Wilson. Did you dip, Geoff? I think you dipped, Geoff. What you talking about? I don't think you dipped yet. Willie's doing shady shit like the GOBs, like his whole failed thing with them NFTs, taking money from the people to pay. Most of them are broke, but that's okay, he's getting money. Even better, tax-free, loving all the stimulus from PPP. You ruin the hobby I love with your bullshit. Geoff Wilson, Geoff Wilson. You ruin the hobby I love with your bullshit. Geoff Wilson, Geoff Wilson. You ruin the hobby I love with your bullshit. Geoff Wilson, Geoff Wilson. You ruin the hobby I love with your bullshit.
B-side on the beat.
What's going on with that PPP? You done a lot of talking, not a lot to see. Up in the millions like 2.3, but Geoff got it all, getting off scot-free. Try to talk tips like we talking about stock, but you're talking about men printed on called stock. When you open your mouth, I take it with a grain of salt, cause the market's down and you're a clown, it's all your fault. You ruin the hobby I love with your bullshit. Geoff Wilson, Geoff Wilson. You ruin the hobby I love with your bullshit. Geoff Wilson, Geoff Wilson. Did you dip, Geoff? I think you dipped, Geoff. What you talking about? I don't think you dipped yet. Willie's doing shady shit like the GOBs, like his whole failed thing with them NFTs, taking money from the people to pay. Most of them are broke, but that's okay, he's getting money. Even better, tax-free, loving all the stimulus from PPP. You ruin the hobby I love with your bullshit. Geoff Wilson, Geoff Wilson. You ruin the hobby I love with your bullshit. Geoff Wilson, Geoff Wilson. You ruin the hobby I love with your bullshit. Geoff Wilson, Geoff Wilson. You ruin the hobby I love with your bullshit.
Peace.